Today is overcast, cloudy to partly cloudy. We're getting a little burst of sunlight through there. Drizzle, rain on and off. Breezy and cool. This is a perfect day to do what I want to do, which is smoke my cheeses. Normally I make my own cheese and then I do the smoking and put them up and so on. In this case, we're having a little thing to... My brother-in-law's out of the hospital, my father's out of the hospital, my wife is out of the hospital. We're doing a little family thing. And so what I'm going to do today is smoke prefab cheese. I know it's not the same, but you know, it is what it is. So we're going to be cooking 4 kinds. Not cooking, sorry, smoking. Big difference. And so let's get in and see what we've got going. So for cold smoking, I do a couple of things. First of all, this is a specific blend of birchwood. And it's a very, very fine. You'll see it in a minute. But this is specifically for cold smoking. Then I get some pellets. If I'm smoking, you probably saw in the other videos, I have split wood. But when I'm cold smoking, I don't want that heat in there. So I use the pellets. This is a hickory and oak, and I've got one that's an apple and oak. And I think I'm going to, for these cheeses, I'm going to use the birch and the apple. So let's go and get set up. I've got a pepper jack, a mozzarella, a Swiss, and a cheddar. And we're going to smoke them because we're going to be doing a little cheese thing later. But I like smoked cheese. However, smoked cheese can get very expensive. So this is one way of getting your smoked cheese while at the same time saving you some money. Of course, we're going to use our side box smoker, our offset or side box smoker. But instead of putting wood and coal in here to make our smoke, which would generate a lot of heat, we're going to be using this. This is known as a cold smoker spiral. And we're going to fill this with a mixture of 75% birch shavings and 25% of the pellets, which is a apple and oak. So we'll have an oak and apple and a birch going in here. But because of the way this is, it will not generate a lot of heat and melt our cheeses. This is what this stuff looks like. And what I like to do is I will take out a batch, put it into my dehydrator and dehydrate it overnight to use the next day and get a lot of that moisture out, and you'll get a much better burn. You can put it in the oven as well and lightly toast it to dry it out, because as it sits in this bag out here, it's going to collect moisture. And the more moisture there is, the less likelihood you are to get a fire. So let me get this mixed and we'll be right back. So you'll notice I did not overfill it. You have to leave this ridge here above your medium, your cooking medium, because if you don't, it'll burn over and break up the burn time, because we want it to burn in the spiral. Then we're going to take this and put it in our where our wood box would be. I'm going to put this right in the very back. I want to keep that as far away as possible. And then we start it. a little of my homemade alcohol. If you watch that distilling vinegar video. I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm just putting enough at the tip to get a good fire going. These spirals can be really notorious to get lit, and I found this is just the quickest way to get it done. I do my spiral at the very opening where you light it initially. I put a little bit of fluid and let it soak into it. It'll get a flame going, and then as it starts burning, we will have the smoke. Now, while this catches fire for the burn, I am going to go get the cheese. I had to change position so I get a better, the wind's coming from over in that direction this way. So I put my smoke box on that side so it catches more ventilation. So we're going to basically take these, remove them from the wrapper. Now these I've just got through cleaning and washing. So I have it double stacked so that I can get that smoke underneath as well. And we're simply going to put these as far away from the fire as possible. It is cold smoking, but to get the smoke, you need heat. And so we don't want to melt our cheese by getting it too close to the heat source. Now the oak and hickory instead of apple and oak would probably be better with the cheddar, but I'm not doing a special cook just for one block of cheese. And honestly, I don't think her relatives would know the difference anyway. So let me get this around here so you can see. So this is where I've got my smoke going back here. My cheese is all the way over here because I only want it to get that smoke. I don't want it to pick up the heat and wind up melting my cheese. So there's that. It's going to take it a while for that smoke to fill up in there. It's a real slow smoke. But we will get there. All right, so this has been in for an hour. Now we're going to turn them. As you can tell, they're still firm. There we go. And see, this is not even hot. This is slightly warm from that, but none of this is at any kind of temperature. So We turn that, we let it smoke for another hour, and then it's done. They will then go into individually marked Ziploc baggies and go back into the fridge until we're ready to use them. You see, though, after I did some readjustments, if you look at the others, you'll notice I've not got so much smoke coming through here now. It's much lighter compared to what's coming out up here. So we've optimized that as much as possible.